Jonathan Ross Show. We have a great programme lined up for you tonight, so let's get straight to my green room and meet my guest. My first guest is a brilliant stand-up. He doesn't just have funny bones, his teeth are hilarious too. It's Rob Beckett, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. I won't go on about the teeth, Rob, I know it's... Next up, forget EastEnders, there's only one Queen Vic on TV right now. From Victoria, the fantastically talented Jenna Coleman. Thank you so much for coming on. Joining them, he has been described as one of the greatest dancers of all time. He's an incredible performer and the sexiest man ever to pull on a pair of ballet tights. It's Carlos Acosta. Oh, fabulous to have you here. One of the greatest of all time right there, ladies and gentlemen. And we have some fabulous music from one of the hottest talents around right now, a multi-Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum-selling singer-songwriter. She'll be chatting as well. It's BB Rexa. Hey, BB, fantastic to have you here. So that's the show. First up, let me show you this story, because here's a lovely story I saw in the papers about this family here, if you look at them. A lovely family. Yes, that's Mum Catherine. She's got a little girl, Tiffany, and a little baby boy, Frankie, there. Now, like every 5-year-old, Tiffany loves playing with makeup, with her mum's makeup. So when her mum was out of the room, she decided to give little Frankie a makeover. There's Frankie as... Looks like he knows something's going to happen. Well, the idea, she told her mum afterwards, was she wanted to make Frankie look just like you, Mum. Okay? Here's what happened. Pretty good, isn't it? I think job done, don't you? Giving the tan, the eyebrows, the lot. Actually, look at that, reminds me, it's Easter soon. Get your eggs in early. Now, with every week that passes, there seems to be like a new viral challenge on YouTube or Twitter. You know the things I mean, like the ice bucket challenge, remember that? There was the mannequin challenge, there was planking, of course. Well, there's a new one. Apparently, this week's viral social media challenge was started by a young woman called Peyton in the US, and she demonstrated her secret talent, and it's called On. Her secret talent is making the sound of a car alarm. Look at this. Now, unsurprisingly, this has caught on. The video's had over 7 million views. Hundreds of people have risen to the challenge. Here are some examples of other people trying to sound like their car alarm. Some good, some bad. So I thought we'd ask our guests whether they'd like to give it a go as well. Who should we go to first? BB, can you do a kind of a car alarm noise?
I could try.
OK. A for effort, not bad at all. Let's go to Carlos. Carlos. Amazing. OK, let's go to Jenna. Jenna, would you mind trying them first?
OK, let's see what happens.
Come on, Jenna Coleman, that's amazing. That is something to fall back on right there.
Oh, I've got a party trick, yes.
Rob, would you give it a go? Rob, that's amazing. Oh, pull that. OK, should we get my first guest out? He's an amazing comic. He's the self-styled mouth of the South, the one and only Rob Beckett, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thank you very much. I'm styling now. You did that. It's great to have you back on the show, Rob.
Thank you for having me.
It's really good. Now, Rob, at the moment, if you're watching BBC One, he's hosting a show which is going super well for you. It's called All Together Now.
Yes.
BBC One, Saturday nights at 7:05. The big final next Saturday.
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen it, it's a kind of competition with a difference, isn't it?
It's sort of like a game show, talent show. So there's £50,000 for the winner that will be happening next Saturday. And people come out and sing. They've all done the heats. This is the final now, so it's the best of the best. And it's different because there's 100 judges. Yeah. If they like to sing and they stand up and sing along, where traditionally it's more like 3 or 4 judges and a public vote. But we haven't got the public vote. At the moment, I don't think they're not doing great things, are they, public votes? It's sort of quite... Yeah. Whenever there's a public vote involved, it's always a bit tetchy, so we've gone for 100. and let them decide. So,
People don't even like saying the word vote anymore, do they?
Exactly.
There's one regular. I mean, they change a little bit, don't they?
Yeah.
But you have one in the 100 who are there, and that's Joey.
Yes.
From the Spice Girls. Jerry Horner.
Jerry Horner.
OK. Jerry Halliwell she used to be, didn't she?
Jerry Halliwell, now Horner.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's amazing to work with. I mean, like, for me, though, it's weird because, like, I remember I was at primary school when they were huge, but I said that to her when we first met, and I regretted it immediately.
What did you actually say?
I remember when your album came out when I was in year 5. Oh, God. But yeah, so I remember, like, she's like an icon, isn't it? And like, with the Spice Girls reunion, it's like a massive moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the summer coming up.
Well, do you get to hang out with them much? Do you spend much time with them?
Well, yeah, we film up in Manchester over like 2 or 3 week period, and you know, we're there all day, and it's just really surreal. Because they were getting back together, they were sorting out the reunion while we were filming.
And
it.
did you know about it? Did you know that was going on?
It was odd. Every time I walked past her, she was on FaceTime with the Spice Girls. I felt like I was in a cheese dream. That, you know, just like, I'm at work with Ginger Spice, and she's on FaceTime with the Spice Girls. So it was, very surreal. But yeah, she's amazing, and they love her though. The 100 are obsessed with her.
You've filmed the final already, haven't you?
Yes.
So you weren't working with her when the whole Mel B story broke?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't working at that point. What story?
Yeah.
No, we weren't working together at that point. That's yeah.
I mean, what's nice is it gives you something to talk about when you go back to working with
Well,
us.
it does, yeah. I mean, I'm not asked her about it myself. It's hard to get into it. Like, how's it going? Also,
I suggest get it out of the way first of all. Get it out of the way.
What next time we work?
Yeah, first time you see her.
Just.
How you doing? How's Mel B?
How's Mel B? Scary? Still scary? Well, they'll be singing together, won't they?
Yeah.
In the summer.
It'll be fine. Who was your favourite Spice Girl?
Well, my favourite Spice Girl was Baby Spice.
Wow, and did you tell Joey that?
Not when we first met.
No.
So I wanted to get the job.
So, so did you say you were always my favourite?
Yeah. No, she asked who was your favourite, and I was like, you, obviously. What'd you say?
Yeah. She actually asked you?
Well, she was like, oh, no, she didn't say like that, but like, we were in interviews, and the people interviewing us were going, who's your favourite Spice Girl? I was like, yeah, it's Ginger Spice.
Yeah.
She was second, though, but Baby, like, you've got to stick with blondes, haven't you? You've got to stick together. There's not many of us left.
Yeah.
Blondes are always... We're always depicted as evil.
Are you?
Look at Game of Thrones. They're all shagging each other.
Yeah. OK, so
They're always the baddie or evil ones.
Yeah.
Any film.
You do look...
Ivan Drago in Rocky, baddie.
Yeah. There is a look about you of someone who would, I mean, you know...
Do what?
Well, you've got a look about you like something's not quite right. I don't know whether it's... You know what I mean, though? I don't mean that unkindly. I mean...
Well, that's just what happens, right? So, because I'm together now, it's like a family show. I'll get all different ages of people coming up to me.
It's a whole new fan base.
A whole new fan base. So there'll be, like, the selfie situation's ridiculous, because you either get teenagers that go, boom, have a quick selfie, or you get, like, nans that, you know, the leather case brigade. And then they get this massive leather case, like, opening up like that, and then it's flapping over the camera, and you're there at an hour. But then sometimes you get, like a mum or dad with their baby, like a toddler, and they go, oh, look, it's the man off the telly, you know, the one with the weird face and the big teeth. You know, the silly face man. And you're standing there going, I am here.
I mean, I really love watching the show. Because, I mean, you keep it really going, but it must be exhausting, because the set is, if you said it, is it 10 floors of people?
It's a lot of steps.
It's a lot of steps. You're one out
Yeah,
the
that's it. There's what, so...
Oh, so it's like 5 levels?
5 or 6 levels of it.
Yeah.
And it's tiring. I've had to join a gym, because I've always been fat. And I've just got to sort it out, because I went to the gym to sort it out, and there's ways like they always give you like a bloke with like this statuesque body to talk you through it. It's like, what is it you want from the gym? And I went, I'll be honest with you, mate, can we just swap heads? That'll do me. But this was the moment I knew I had to lose a little bit of weight. I was on holiday with my wife, went to Slovenia, Lake Bled. I don't know if you've been, it's beautiful. Oh, a couple of fans. Oh, yeah. Actually, more claps for Lake Bled than altogether now, but I'll let you know. It's been around longer, fair play to it. And it's this beautiful lake in the middle of Slovenia. Yeah. Mountains all around the edge, and this lovely little island in the middle with a little white church, and it's beautiful, romantic. My wife was sunbathing on this pontoon in the lake, and there's a Slovenian family on it and her there, and then I'm having a swim in the lake. And I think to myself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swim up to that pontoon and get on it. I don't know where this confidence has come from. I think mainly because I wasn't really sure what a pontoon was. I just knew my wife was on it, and that's where I was headed. Because I struggle getting out of a pool on holiday sometimes. Do you ever do that? You're in the deep end, and there's steps up there, and you think, I'm not swimming to the steps like some sort of nerd.
You're trying to pull yourself...
Oh, you get stuck in no man's land, don't you? You're stuck up like that. And nothing stops poolside chatter quick. But a fat man stuck. You know that? Everyone's looking, and you've got two options.
Yeah.
Option one, you just flop on your front and drag yourself out like a sad little slug.
Like a merman.
Yeah, little mermaid like that. Or the worst is sliding back in.
Oh.
You just slide, and then you sort of present your belly, and then you scrape it, and then you just present your breasts on a little platter. And I'm heavy of nipple, as you well know.
Well, that's the thing.
Big Jaffa Cake nips, it looks like two wombles peeking over the end. So I'm in the lake, and I'm like, right, I've got to get on the pontoon. So I swim up to it, and I thought, just be confident in yourself, right? And as I do it, I jump on it like that to go. My wife nearly fucks off that one.
Wow.
And ends up over a mountain.
Wow.
I panic, jump off. The Slovenians nearly go that way. But I've committed, so I'm trying to get on. I'm wiggling on. My belly's glistening. It's horrible. And
It sounds magnificent.
Eventually, I get on and I'm all out of breath and I flop like that. And my wife's giggling and I can hear the Slovenians talking about me and it's horrible when someone talks about you in another language and you're just laying there and they're going... I'm like, yeah, laugh it up. And then I hear... Walrus. Like, what?
Wow, that's harsh. That's harsh. You don't deserve that.
No, I was like, no way. They can't have called me. I went back to the hotel to Google it. Open it meant big dick legend in Slovenia.
Yeah. Same word.
Means walrus.
Same word.
To this day, it's the only bit of Slovenian I know.
Yeah. That's all you need to know, though.
Walrus.
Really, I want to ask you about the show you're doing with Romesh. It's a show that Rob Beckett does with a genuine friend of yours, Romesh Ranganathan.
Yes, yeah.
It's called Rob and Romesh Versus. It's on Sky One. I think this series has ended, but you can probably still watch it. I loved it. It's so funny. Tell me the premise. How did that come about? What's the idea behind each episode?
Well, so me and Romesh wanted to do a show together for years with, like, really good friends, and we did a show... promoting the Anthony Joshua fight against Klitschko. Yeah. I was just showing... They wanted a show, Sky, about someone who loved boxing showing someone who didn't know about it.
And you're the boxing fan.
I was a boxing fan, so I showed Romesh around it, and then they liked it, and it did sort of well with ratings. So they said, well, let's do another series, but you meet different people. So we met Usain Bolt, Shania Twain, we did one about fashion, NFL, and we went to all these amazing places and interviewed these megastars.
I mean, it sounds, though... I mean, I know filming is obviously works, but it sounds like the closest thing you can have to having... it not being work, to actually just having a good time. Yeah,
I mean, we were worried, though. We didn't want people to think we was just, like, having a holiday. That's what we did was, which I sort of regret now, is they made us do a challenge at the end of it that ultimately would ruin any part of a holiday.
Well, my favourite moment of the series has got to be when you did the male modelling.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to show a clip of this, because the first clip, when Rob did it, and I know you were both joking around thinking, oh, and the photographer is a very nice guy. I think his name
Nicky Johnston.
Nicky.
Lovely guy.
Really sweet guy. And he's been very supportive. But he took a photograph of Rob, and Rob looks amazing. He looks like a proper, handsome male model. And you were surprised, so was Romesh, weren't you? Have a look at this. This is the... I'll show you another clip in a minute, but look at this first.
Who wants to go first?
This guy.
You look great.
Let's get going, then.
So let's try neatly first. See, that's quite nice, that frowny. That's good. Yes, hold that there.
Jesus. You actually... Jesus Christ. You actually look at... What is in that camera? Jesus Christ! This is, mate, this photo is the best photo I've ever seen of you in my life. Look at you!
First shot, see you later.
I mean, that is amazing. So you look great there.
Yeah.
I mean, you were surprised as well.
Very surprised. I think keeping my mouth shut's a good approach.
Yeah. And you gave the look. You had that kind of sort of like mean glare.
I don't know what happened. I just sort of got possessed by it.
But then
Gandhi.
Then the show got
David
better
Gandhi, not,
Dave...
you know, not Mahatma. Great guy, but not a model, was he?
And then you tried to... They asked you to replicate a famous David Gandhi poster, which has David Gandhi topless in, like, very tight-fitting white trunks. He looks amazing, and it's with this beautiful young woman who's in a white bikini. She looks amazing. And so they got you and Romesh in pants. And that's all to sort of cuddle each other.
I mean, we really didn't want to do this. Me and Romesh were in a toilet in the middle of London, getting all naked, putting these little pants on. And we was just like, it was like, I don't want to do it. I went, I don't either. And then he went, do you reckon it'll be funny? I went, yeah, that's not the problem. It'll definitely be funny. We thought, well, you know, we're comics. If it's funny, we've got to do it.
Well,
so we committed.
Mission accomplished. Have a look at this.
Rom, you're back here, so you're straddling this one. Your head's coming this side. That wasn't good. That's better, yeah.
Oh, that beard. Batter off for 5 minutes.
That's great. You lean slightly over, Rob. Your body leans slightly that way.
Yeah, my body.
Fabulous.
It took a while, but eventually we managed to stop laughing long enough for Nicky to take some more photos.
That's just an amazing...
At the end of that, he went, oh, and the nipples.
and you're doing more. I guess you'll be doing another series.
Yeah, I think we're going to do some more. We just need to fit it all in. But
one of my favourites on TV. Rob, you know, I've always liked seeing you as a comedian. I love seeing you on TV, and you're a star already, but I think you're going to be, in the next few years, we're going to see Rob be one of the biggest stars on British TV, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. He's just that funny. Rob Beckett, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Still to come, we've got the star of Victoria, the fabulous Jenna Coleman, so don't go away. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the show. I'm pleased to say Rob Beckett is still here, but let's get my next guest out. We first met her in Emmerdale. We loved her even more in Doctor Who. She was amazing, but now she's winning plaudits as Queen Victoria. Will you please welcome the fabulous Jenna Coleman? You look amazing. That was great power.
I know. Who knew?
Rob, this is Jenna.
Hi. Yeah, you. Yeah, good thanks.
Jenna, thank you for coming on. You look amazing, and I suppose I'm surprised because, of course, you're dressed in modern. I'm so used to seeing you at the moment as Victoria.
Yeah.
One of our greatest queens, of course. Where do we find her now? What period is this in her reign?
Pregnant. Just pregnant.
Yeah, she seems to be pregnant. How many kids did she have in real life?
9.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got 7 at the moment.
Wow. So that's a big...
not in real life.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. But you don't have any in real life, do you?
No.
So if you're doing quite a lot of labour scenes on TV, because you've been pregnant and had babies as other characters in other shows, haven't you?
Yeah. I've had many a labour scene now. I'm running out of noises for labour scenes.
So you change it up?
I try to, depending on what number of child... We've just given birth to the 7th child now.
Right.
I'm sure you just screamed "get out" at that point.
I listen on set. I've got into the habit of listening to Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons?
Mumford and Sons during the birth scenes. I think there's something about the banjo which kind of really...
Angry banjo music.
Speeds you up.
Yeah,
It speeds up the birth.
Banjo. Something about the adrenaline.
I almost hate to tell you this, but we've got Mumford and Sons on the show next week.
Ah, I'm sure they'll be thrilled to hear.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I find if I build up adrenaline and then don't think about it, and then watch it back. I think I sounded like a sheep on one thing that I saw back before.
That probably makes sense. So you're in the moment and you kind of know it's going to be... The woman's going through extreme kind of like, you know, very stressful and physically painful things, so you just let the noise out. You get yourself in that psyched up space.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I probably just have loads of caffeine and get, like, really built up, and then I'm sure one day, maybe, if I ever give birth, I'll realise I was totally wrong.
And did she like having that many children? Did she like being pregnant? Did she like...
She was very conflicted. She hated being pregnant. Hated it, hated it, hated it.
Why?
Because she was busy. She had things to do. And I think it took her away from her day job.
So it took her away from her duties, it took away from what she loved doing and what I guess she felt she was born to do.
And I also think physically, I think she was very impatient and she liked horse riding and being, you know, physically capable. So it was kind of, yeah, she didn't really enjoy it.
And let's have a look at the clip. This is Jenna Coleman as Victoria. This is Sunday night, ITV, 9 p.m.
Lord John, concerning this Kossuth, it is paramount we do not antagonise the Austrian monarchy. I am addressing my Prime Minister. Kossuth's reception into Britain makes my country look duplicitous and weak.
With respect, ma'am.
There is no respect in what you have to say, Lord Palmerston. Saying with respect does not put it there. I understand a member of your cabinet has invited Kossuth to dine with him. Is that correct?
May I speak?
If there is time in your busy schedule of dinners with regicidal anarchists.
Lajos Kossuth is not a regicide and he's not an anarchist. He's beheld his people being taxed to death. by a rapacious tyrant.
As my Minister of State, you will undertake to do 3 things. 1, you will retract your invitation to dine with Kossuth. 2, you will see him cleanly off the premises of my country. 3, you will write to the crowned heads of Europe, assuring them of my government's allegiance. Is there anything on that list you do not understand?
Your Majesty is pellucidly clear.
That's it. The great drama. And she's a tough character. You can see that she didn't like Palmerston at all, did she?
Oh, no, she hated him.
Yeah.
Hated him. I mean, she's very unafraid to give her opinions.
Yeah. And the children are in it now. You're acting with her children, of course, or your children in the thing.
Yeah.
And do the kids understand that they're meant to be children from a different age? Because presumably they can't act like modern children.
Yeah, no, they've not got a clue. I think it's like a really fun play school, but in a palace, in an airport, in Leeds.
So that must be... And so how do you tell them? Do they say to them, OK, this was... I mean, presumably they know there are no phones, this is before that sort of stuff?
No. We rehearse the scene, we bring in the children, and then it's basically a case of go, quick, before 1 2-year-old like runs off in that direction, and you're like still like talking politics whilst like trying to grab the 2-year-old, and then the other one was really hungry, so she's got a bag of Doritos, but she's out of shot, so that's okay. And then the other child is I remember Tom had to pick her up during the scene, and it was like, don't worry, darling, I'll keep you safe. And she's like, I'm really heavy, aren't I? It's a case you just kind of carry on.
Now, that's Tom who plays Albert.
Yeah,
Your paramour in the show. But there are stormy times ahead for them, aren't there? At the moment, they're close, but, of course, we know that their relationship wasn't always harmonious.
No, they're very different people. They're a bit yin and yang. Victoria and Albert. Yeah. V&A.
Yeah.
Has he got the hall yet?
What?
Didn't she build him the Royal Albert Hall?
But didn't she build him the hall after he died? Or is that the memorial?
She built the memorial after he died. Yeah. I know that for sure.
You know, it's a big row, isn't it, when you've got to build a hall? Yeah. Just to I was out of order. I built you an hall.
Do they row? You have rows on screen, don't you? You have had some rows on screen.
Yeah.
But I guess there's much more of that to come.
Tempestuous.
Yeah.
And physical as well. Like, she's very hot-headed, he's quite methodical, and the 2 things together, they really bring out the worst in each other. But she was always the one who was, you know, kind of banging on his door, trying to say, I'm sorry, and he wouldn't answer the door.
Do you have many rows with your missus?
Not that many, because I've worked out the secret is to a happy marriage. Separate rooms with a telly in each. And a super king-size bed. It's so massive, John. I can't even hear her breathe.
The Victorians had different beds. They had
Did she have a different bed to Albert? She had a different bed?
He had his own hall. Of course, he had a different bed.
It's amazing. Making all those children, though, he must have had some commute. Let me ask you about Doctor Who. How amazing was Jenna Coleman in Doctor Who, ladies and gentlemen? You were one of the best assistants of all time. And it was a great period as well. When you left, I believe, did you keep any mementos? Are you allowed to keep anything from that experience?
Oh, yeah, I stole quite a lot, actually.
Wow. Well, so you genuinely stole this? You didn't ask?
I stole it, but somebody helped me in the props department. So I feel like that was OK.
So what did you smuggle off the set?
I stole a piece of TARDIS.
Wow.
A proper Gallifreyan, like, full-on piece, like, under my jumper.
And so where do you keep it?
Oh, it's actually in my attic. I need to get it out. I've recently moved house.
Right, so you should have it on display.
Imagine that cash in the attic. That'd be an absolute earner, wouldn't it? I'll be at the TARDIS up here!
Proper piece of TARDIS. But I've also got, you know, the neon sign of the police box, like the proper neon police box sign. I've got that in my dining room.
And so that's up, and that's lit up on display?
Yeah, that lights up.
So people come in, they can't avoid that.
Well, yeah. If they come around for dinner, yeah.
Now, Jenna came over, she rushed over tonight from rehearsals for the play that's about to open the West End, and this must be an exciting thing for you, because it's one of the legendary plays from American theatre, and you're with a great cast. Tell us about it. It's All My Sons at the Old Vic here in London, ladies and gentlemen, from the 13th of April through to June. When did this come your way, and what excites you about this?
This came my way last year. So it's kind of been in the works for a little while, but yeah, it's an amazing play. So we're deep in rehearsal at the moment.
It's a fascinating period of American history, of course, and it's kind of about the American dream, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And it's 1947, set in Ohio, and it all takes place in the Kellers' back garden, with the neighbours coming in and out. And I play a character called Anne Diva, who's returning back to her home to marry their son.
And so,
Or
presumably you have to do it with an American accent, because it's
Yeah.
very firmly located in America. And is there a difference with the accent in terms of the period as well? Because I guess American was spoken slightly differently back in the 40s than it is now.
Yeah, there's a lot of G, OG, and swell. Swell. Isn't it swell?
Can you do an American accent?
Me? Oh, yeah, I could do New York.
Come on already! Get off the sidewalk, you schmuck! What am I, an asshole?
What is going on with the face? Why are you doing that with the face?
That's how it is, isn't it?
Come on already! Get out of here!
It's like Sylvester Stallone's on the couch. Had you done much stage before? Is it a fairly new thing for you, or is that where you came from?
I haven't done it for ages and ages. I was like 18 at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival the last time I did it, so it's
So it
pretty
must be quite daunting.
petrifying, yeah.
Well, I'm going to come and see it if I can, but it's only from the 13th of February to the 8th of June, so grab yourself a ticket now. That's All My Sons at the Old Vic. And remember to watch Victoria. It's ITV Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Fabulous Jenna Coleman, ladies and gentlemen. I said 8 p.m, but thank you. That was fabulous, thank you. I love all the glitter. Still to come on the show, we've got the unbelievable Carlos Acosta and BB Rex. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out, and I'm very excited he's here. He was the youngest principal dancer of the English National Ballet at just 18. He retired in 2016 with 5 sellout shows at the Royal Albert Hall. Let's have a look at him in action. So effortless, doesn't he? Here he is, it's the fabulous Carlos Acosta. That was amazing. Look at that. That must bring so many memories back when you see yourself dancing.
Yeah, no, definitely wonderful. Those were the days.
Yeah. When was that?
Those were the days. That was at the Royal Opera House, you know, a few years back. I was still, you know, wearing tights, obviously. I'm no longer wearing tights, but...
Well, you certainly fill out a pair of tights very well. If I may be so bold. I'm sure you've heard that before. I was thrilled when when they said you'd come on the show, and I said, well, ours Carlos is English, because I knew that you'd lived over here for a while. I didn't know for quite how long. But because, of course, you were born in Cuba, weren't you?
That's right, that's right. And I came here at the age of 18, no word of English.
So no English at all when you first came here?
No English at all. You know, I sort of taught myself as I went,
So that must have been tough, coming here to study and being dropped into a school full of people who all spoke English. How did you get by?
Well, they just, you know, take me by the hand to one place to another. You know, it was quite, you know, frustrating because obviously if you can't communicate, sometimes some people are laughing and you don't know if they're laughing at you or what's going on.
He had that when he was on holiday.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't think they're calling you a walrus, though, Carlos.
No, yeah, I don't think so. And how did you get by, like, if you needed to do something, if you needed to go shopping, or if you needed, you know, did you communicate with sign language? What did you do?
Well, you know, for instance, I arrived here, I had this large afro, right? And so somebody, you know, I didn't know where to go to a barber shop, so somebody recommended that Brixton was the place for me. So I went there, and I went to this barber shop, and then I see the people coming out of this barber shop with this weird haircut. Yeah. You know, some sign in their head, and I just say...
So the modern, the z-z-z with the words...
Exactly. I say, I'm not sure, you know. And so I went there, and then I tried to communicate with sign language and Spanish, you know, to the girl, to the woman who was doing the haircut, and say, you know, un poquito here, un poquito here, un poquito here, and not here, not so much. And she's chewing gum. I understand.
Yeah.
And completely, I get out, I was completely bald. And I arrived to the company. Everybody was teasing me. I was very frustrated. I knew I had to speak English at that point.
But I guess, have you ever struggled with a language barrier, Jenna? Have you ever had that problem?
Oh, no, mine was a pure English barrier. In Leeds train station, where I went to buy a sandwich, and a man asked me, he was like really, really deadpan, said, do you want to go for a drink? And I was like, sorry, I've got a boyfriend. And he was like, it's part of a meal deal. If you go for a drink, if you buy a sandwich, you get a drink as well.
That's amazing.
not even a language.
Carlos's story, some of you may know it, but it's an amazing story. I was familiar with a little bit more, but I mean, it really is. It's the classic rags to riches story because your family, you come from an incredibly poor family, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. In Cuba, well, everybody's very humble in Cuba, but you know, it was just this rough beginning. But I had this determined father that wanted me to dance ballet, and he forced me to dance ballet, and I hated it. They kicked me out from the school. But, you know, he turned out to have this vision, and, you know, it turned out to be the best it could ever happen to me. And, you know, I became a career, I had a career in something that I really hated in the beginning.
And so, but you had dancing. You had dancing ability because you were doing break dancing, weren't you, on the street?
Yeah. I wanted to be a break dancer. I wanted to be also Pelé at some point.
Can you still do that? Yeah, he's got it.
Nah, I mean, I still do a little bit, but it's
so beautiful to watch the line flowing through.
But obviously, in terms of dance, you know, I always was quick in picking up the moves, and so when ballet arrived into my life, you know, it was no exception. I could, you know, pick up ballet quite quickly.
There's a film, which I'll tell you all about. The film is called Yuli, which was the nickname your father gave you.
That's right.
Wasn't it? And it's released next Friday, and it's a beautiful film. I mean, it's a beautiful film that has beautiful ballet in, but it also has Carlos's story, his life story told beautifully, and it's a very poetic-looking film as well. It's a very artistic film, I think. Let's have a look. This is a trailer for the film Yuli. It's released next Friday, and you might not necessarily know much about Carlos's life until now. You might not necessarily think ballet's for you, but I'm telling you, it's a really wonderful film. Look at this.
¿Así que tú quieres ser bailarín, Carlos?
No, no quiero.
¿Y si quieres?
No quiero.
Si quieres.
Tú tienes algo que no es habitual en otros niños. Un chorro de talento natural que se te ve a la legua.
Eres un desastre. Y huele fatal. Papi, yo no quiero ser bailarín.
Si tú no bailas, tú y yo bailas después de la casa.
El English National Ballet te ha ofrecido un contrato.
Tú eres negro y esta es la oportunidad de tu vida. Yo te puse el nombre de un indio bravo el día que naciste. Tú eres Julie y vas a ser el mejor bailarín del mundo.
I loved it. Yuli, it opens next Friday. That just reminded me because when I was watching the movie and I was thinking, OK, I could see how much it meant to your father and when we could see, and knowing the story, knowing that you did succeed, seeing how much the young version of you pushed back, you were a little shit when you were a kid, weren't you? I mean, really, you were kind of a little prick.
That's right, yeah, I didn't care.
Yeah. Why were you like that?
Because I didn't care about the ballet, you know. I just wanted to be free on the streets and you know, stealing mangoes to my neighbors, and that's what we did. That's what I saw. But I tell you, the boy, which is a street actor, he never acted before. Wow. I tell you, he was more of a delinquent than me.
Really?
Look at him, he's the best.
But he's amazing, and he looks like you. I mean, it's great casting, but he's a really wonderful presence in the film.
Yeah.
Your father, though, comes out... It's a very contradictory character in some ways. You know, quite a... obviously, there's a deep love you have for him in the film. Why was ballet so important to him? Why did he want you? Because it seems unusual that someone from his background... I mean, he was a truck driver, I believe.
That's right.
His grandfather was a slave. He comes from slave heritage. You know,
right.
Remarkable poverty and remarkable hardship. Why did he push you towards ballet, do you think?
Okay, there were this neighbor downstairs where we used to live that had the 2 kids in the ballet school. And ballet was always on TV in Cuba. It was seen as something very positive. And he wanted basically for me to have a different opportunity that he had. You know, he wanted to have better chances. And all I could see in my environment was, you know, petty crime, really. So he associated ballet with something great, and obviously it was a way to pull me out from those crowds. I am the youngest of 11 kids. He had 11 kids.
Wow.
And so the last chance
that
he
met
had...
your mother, Queen Victoria? I don't know.
No wonder he drove a truck. Get you all home.
11 kids, that's a huge family, Carlos.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, and so he was determined that the last chance he's gonna have, it was on me, and for once he was gonna get it right. And so he pushed me, and wherever I am, it is thanks to him.
Wow, it's amazing. Amazing character. And you have 3 children, don't you?
3 children.
Do any of those dance?
Well, the 2.5, they do the little, you know,
Yeah.
2.5, and our eldest is 7, you know, and she really is gonna be a performer. She's gonna be, you know, because she's really out there and very extroverted and very physical, very strong, doing like about 34 push-ups.
Wow.
Would you believe that? It's unbelievable.
But do they do ballet classes? Would you encourage them to go into the world that you inhabited?
I would not push them like my father pushed me, that's for sure. But I embrace whatever they wanna do. I think she is early stages. You know, she likes gymnastics a lot. You know, she's very good at
So she
gymnastics.
might go in that direction.
So maybe.
Are there any moves you would mind? Could you show us something in here today?
Okay,
do you mind?
just a little bit, but only if you try to do it with me. Only.
Okay. I know you can, or you don't. I don't know whether it's suitable with that dress on. What
Maybe
moves
I'll
are
sit
they?
this one out.
No.
Jenna's only gave birth last week.
It's very simple.
Okay.
It's just this. Look.
Oh wow.
Just that.
Now you
Just
see,
that.
you say that's simple, but that's simple for you, Carlos. Show me again. Break it.
So
down.
you go like this.
Hold it. So.
And then
Oh,
like
man.
that.
Rob, I'm not doing this alone. Come on.
Okay.
Get up here, get up here, Jaffa Cake Nips.
So you go.
Stop trying to get in my head so you can be better at me than this.
So you go like that, and then you go up,
Hold it,
and
up
then
on that.
down,
Whoop.
and then down like that.
Hold it, what are we
Have I
doing
got-
wrong? We're doing something wrong here, though.
I can do this. Is this good?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look again.
Okay, so there and then down.
Oh man, that's so nice to
Is
watch.
that good?
No, that's it, though. You
Is
don't
that
want to
good?
do that. Sit down. We don't want any of your.
That's my leg. No, but look, that's quite good form, isn't it?
It's pretty high.
That's quite high. Thank you, Jenna.
Is that useless?
It's useless.
that useless?
What about this? What about this?
Much better, man. What do you think? Yeah.
Hard to do.
Wow, that's a ball like that.
Hold on. Give me a hand. You ready? I feel
That's an art form that we've just
I think this evening 2 new stars in the world of dancing have been born, Carlos. It's an amazing film, and he's an amazing character. Will you please join me in saying thank you to Mr. Carlos Acosta, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Wonderful, thank you. Well, believe it or not, we've got still more to come. BB Rex will be out here chatting and performing for the end of the show. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show. My next guest is fearless in her music, her videos and her opinions. She's going to be performing at the end of the show, but I thought I'd get her out here for a chat first. Just to get you in the mood, here are some of her biggest hits. Here she is, it's BB Rexa, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for waiting. BB, come and sit down. Lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So you're from New York, is that right, originally?
Yes, I am.
New
And your
York City.
accent,
Okay.
and your accent sucked.
Yeah. Are you a fan of the UK? You like being over here?
I do. I really do.
What do you like?
I like the food.
Huh?
I think the accents are hot.
So the fine cuisine?
No, I like fish and chips.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had lots of Nando's.
When you say lots, how many is lots?
I've been here for a week. I've had it every day or twice a day.
Wow.
To prepare for the performance. I just like it. I like spicy food.
Spicy food.
Very spicy, and I can get it extra hot.
I have got a whole chicken on my loyalty card.
What's that? What card is that? Lorry
You
card?
get a loyalty.
Loyalty.
What did
you think you said? A lorry card? Lorry card.
A loyalty card.
Oh.
So yeah.
A loyalty card.
That's correct. That's the way to say it. Yes.
You said you like. Do you like my accent?
No.
Do you like Carlos's accent?
Yeah.
Of course, everyone. Jenna, you haven't got much of an accent.
I like
guess.
Jenna's accent.
Wow.
Oh, so just me.
Okay.
You're actually, honestly,
Yeah.
because I don't understand a lot of British comedians, English, sorry,
Yeah.
and I think you're actually really funny.
Thank you very much.
That's probably because you don't understand him. You're from, well, your kind of ancestry is from Albania. Your family have roots in Albania, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's also where Dua Lipa has been on the show, and
Yes.
also Rita Ora.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a kind of like an Albanian girls' gang in music? Do you all...
Yeah, you know, we phone each other.
But do you speak Albanian?
Yeah, I speak Albanian and English, Albanglish.
Albinglish?
Yes.
Well, give me an example of Albinglish.
I'd be like if I want to say like where are the potato chips, I'd be like kuyan potato chips.
Wow, so it is... So
Because I like mix it because I don't really know how to say everything.
Yeah, and so who's on the Albanian side? Is both your parents from that side, from
Yeah,
that part of Europe?
yes.
So they speak Albanian together?
Yeah, sometimes we'll go back to Albania and the weddings are like 5 days long. Wow. It's like an intense thing, like it's insane. So we go there and...
But growing up, you weren't allowed to listen to pop music, were you?
I was, but my dad, like he could see that I was, like I started obsessing with music and writing it and he was against it because, you know, he didn't know, he always saw the music business as being a very scary place. And
Yeah, you could see his point.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
It is sex, drugs, and rock and roll, by the way.
On a good
It
note.
is. I mean, not me. I'm like, no sex, unfortunately.
Oh, what?
No drugs and rock and roll.
Okay.
It's like Nando's, sleep, and rock and roll.
Because you're single at the moment, aren't you? Is that right?
Single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and do you date while you're over here? Do you...
I've only been on like 2 real dates in my life.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like guys just want to like hang out. It's like ask me to dinner, you know what I mean? Like take me to like, I want to take you to a nice dinner. So now I'm not used to going on dates, so if somebody asks me, I get really nervous. Because I'm the type of person that when I go to a restaurant and if somebody's on a first date, I'm listening to everything they're saying.
Right.
And me and my friends will be like, oh, it's not going so good. Or like we'll start rating it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or she'll leave the bathroom and be on her phone and we'll just...
Yeah.
So I don't want that to happen to me, you know? I don't know. Like...
You don't want to be rated?
What?
You don't want to be rated?
Oh, yes.
We can't do ours.
I thought you said weighted.
13 years I've been doing this sort of thing.
Sorry.
Baby, I tell you one thing I read about you a while ago, and this one thing's what made me like you even more, because you're a huge talent, and I love hearing you sing, I love your music, but it was the one thing you had over the Grammys, when you had a struggle with designers to dress you. Will you tell us about that? Because it was such a positive thing to hear coming from you.
Well, I was nominated for 2 Grammys, and this is a big moment. It was my first nominations, and my parents were coming to town, my brother, my mom, my dad, and I got a text saying that a lot of the big designers and showrooms, like the houses that hold the clothes, didn't want to dress me because they consider me too big. And
you're what? So, I mean,
I'm a size like UK size 12. Yeah, so it's like I like my curves. But yeah, ladies.
By no one's stretch is that a large person.
I just feel like that it hurt me because I've struggled with my weight all my life, and especially being in the music business, looks is an important thing, but you also want to be healthy. It's not just physical, it's about mental, it's about feeling happy, and I don't want to be at a place where I'm starving myself to fit into certain clothes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important.
So I have Nando's 6 times, 7 times.
That's amazing. I'm 30.
But like, you want to eat a French fry once in a while.
Why do you think me and Rob are wearing Spanx t-shirts right now?
No, anyway, I made the video and I was scared to put it out because, I don't know, you get scared. You know, my mom got really scared because she was like, I don't want everybody back out dressing you, you know? But I was like, then it's not right. So, yeah, I ended up finding a really beautiful dress, and it was this guy, Monsuri.
You looked absolutely amazing. Here's the dress that BB wore to the Grammys. Look at that. That is stunning. You look incredible.
I felt like a princess.
And did you get feedback from the designer? Because I would have thought they would be ashamed of themselves. I would have thought they would...
A lot of like, no, but the real people that were... I think people need to be, in the fashion industry, need to be more inclusive, meaning they need to include every... Even if you're thinner. Like, they should, you know, you should show love to every body type, every shape. You know, big boobs, small boobs, big... arse.
Every bar can be every size, yeah.
Small one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say that on TV, but... Yeah, honestly, like, Moschino, Jeremy Scott, may he rest in peace, Karl Lagerfeld sent me, like, some of his pieces, and it was like... I saw who the true... Like, the real nice people were.
Wow, the people who were prepared to step up
and then
and
all
say,
the other
yeah,
ones can kiss my fat ass.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's great because I really admire seeing that kind of positivity and that openness. You're going to perform for us this evening. What's the song you're going to do for us tonight?
Last Hurrah.
Last Hurrah. If you'd like to go over to perform, let's say thank you now to BB Rexa.
Thank you.
Thank you, BB. That was amazing. That was great.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks to all my guests tonight, of course, the fabulous Rob Beckett, ladies and gentlemen. The wonderful Jenna Coleman. Thank you, Jenna. And, of course, the brilliant Carlos Acosta right there. Join me again next week when my guests will be Jeremy Clarkson, Emma Bunton, Samson Kayo, Sarah Pascoe, and we have Mumford & Sons performing on the programme. But now, we last hurrah. Here she is, the fabulous BB Rexa.
I'm done with the drinking, I'm done with the smoking, I'm done with the playing, I'm done with the joking, done with the ladies, I'm done with the fellas, just saying. Farewell tequila, so long margarita, lady sativa, I hate to leave ya, don't want the pressure, I don't need a lecture, no thank you honey, God bless ya. I know, I've said it all before, but it won't hurt to do it all once more. This is my last hurrah. Once I start, I ain't gonna stop till I go too far. Last hurrah, and it's okay. Maybe tomorrow I won't feel this pain. Last hurrah. Last hurrah. I'm done with the heartache, I'm done with the demons. Can't wait to be normal right after this weekend. I'm done with the drama, fixing my karma. One more night up your nirvana. I know I've said it all before, but it won't hurt to do it all once more. This is my last hurrah. Once I start, I ain't gonna stop till I go too far. Last hurrah, and it's okay. Maybe tomorrow I won't feel this pain. Last hurrah. Last hurrah. Maybe I'll never change, but I'm still glad I came. Try again another day, but for now, this is my last hurrah. Once I start, I ain't gonna stop till I go too far. Last hurrah, and it's okay. Maybe tomorrow, make some noise. Last
Fabulous BB Rexa. Amazing. That is fabulous. BB Rexa.